Can you imagine being told you're a non-essential employee? I've read somewhere that something like 90% of the EPA got furloughed or laid off, or whatever the hell you want to call it, Tuesday because of the governmental shutdown. And they interviewed some guy who was talking about, oh, our research has been ruined. They had to sequester, and we couldn't pay for new equipment, and now that we're having a furlough employees, something like 90% of their employees. It's like he has 2 more weeks of pay, and then he doesn't know what he's going to do. Well, I wouldn't know what I would do either, to be honest with you. I feel sorry for him, but I gotta say, I don't think the EPA is particularly important to the interworkings of the federal government. But as much as it sucks for him, it affects all of us a little bit. My company does a lot of government contracts, so guess what? That affects our company normally, but also I'm legally blind and have access to talking books. They used to be called books on tape. The website that handles that is BARD. That's down. I'll put a link in the description to it, and you can see their quickie little message. But that's no longer there. The Texas version of it is there, so I'm going to talk to them about getting some information. I don't think I can download through them. When you listen to what the politicians are saying, all they're worried about is whether or not they look good in the polls compared to the other guy. Does the other guy look bad? It's like, fix the frickin' problem. I'm telling you, we have a class of people in this country that are politicians, or 24/7 politicians, and we need to change that. I'm thinking term limitations. I'm thinking don't have a direct job title. Oh, there are puddles. Woohoo! Tear it up there, Hoss. It rained earlier, so there's a water leak over there as well. But other than that, I'm not sure there's been much of a direct effect in my life the first couple of days of the shutdown. We'll have to see how it goes. Hang on. I've got to compete with all this noise. Democrats are terrified of the Tea Party. Every time I turn around, I hear them talking about, oh, the Tea Party's holding the government hostage. They're releasing the hostages one at a time. This kind of crap's coming down the pike, and it's like, there's only one group of people more afraid of the Tea Party than Democrats, and that's Republicans, because the Republican Party is falling apart from within. I imagine there may not be a Republican Party in a few years. That or the Tea Party may actually start running some real conservatives and get a few Democrats and Republicans knocked out of their office, and you'll start seeing some shit hit the fan when that happens. I'm going to start reading this crap about how World War II veterans can't get into the National Monument in D.C. and how they're having to crash through barricades to get into the monument. Now, you got to remember, this is an open-air monument as part of a park. There's not even a wall around it, so they're having to bring the Park Service police back off of furlough in order to put barricades around the monument, the World War II Memorial Monument, in order to prevent groups of World War II veterans from getting to the monument. They're probably spending more money on the cops putting up the barricades and keeping them out than they would if they just opened the frickin' place back up. And it's open air. It's not like anybody has to be there. It's just like this. There's no wall. There's no fence. You just walk up to it. So I do not understand what they're doing. I know what they're doing. I do know what they're doing. I have a devious part of my mind too. They're trying to make this hurt. Both sides want it to hurt so that the other side will cave in. And this is the Democrats versus Republicans. And it's just pissing me off that these elites are driving half the population against the other half and trying to make each other look like an asshole rather than fixing the problem. I'm sick of it. I've had it with these idiots. I don't know what to do. I need to start a campaign that says, vote for anyone who's never run in politics. Just get a group of people in to run this country for long enough to put up a constitutional amendment that has term limitations in it and forces Congress to obey the same laws everybody else has to obey. I'm just fed up with it. I've had it with this government that's running things right now. It's just, I can't take it anymore.